And a good Sunday morning. It is the Positively Petland show with Ron Solzerud from Petland in Iowa City, east side of Iowa City, over by the Iowa City Marketplace, across from the parking lot of Lucky's. You know where they're located. Ron, glad to have you along. Happy May to you.
Very nice May to you as well.
We're being very cordial this morning. What are we going to be talking about this week?
The Miniature Schnauzer. Is that the right breed for you? We're going to stump Jerry on where it's from. Probably not. But, you know, Jerry kind of has those way out guesses. So we'll see. And then
especially when you go, this breed is from... Where is it from, Jerry?
Giving you
and then you look at me like I didn't hear you go from... Where's it from? I don't know. Germany.
We'll see if we can stump you today. I don't think so, but we'll see. And then we're going to talk about there's two words in that one. Is your pet stressed out? Ways to understand what is that look like in your dog and or cat, and then some nice ways to figure out or help them through that process. And we're talking about stress because we're right on the cusp of finals week for the university. We want to help those kids out there, but we also want to help our pets. So.
And you had a great event earlier, I guess last week, on the campus of the university.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
We had a de-stressing event, and that's what got me going on this topic, a de-stressing event for people, for students at the University of Iowa. Because of finals week coming up, they contacted us and said, can you do something for us? We want to help our students, relax, get the good grades that they're looking for and all that. So we brought out some puppies, we brought out some bunnies, and we announced it out on the campus. And I think we had half the campus all participating in it. It was a lot of fun, and the students really loved it. And I was telling you earlier, who even enjoyed it, I think, more was, am I going to stump you on this one?
Oh, the professors.
Yeah. The faculty came out and they were like, thank you so much. We appreciate this.
And your oldest is graduating.
Yes, I have.
That transition can be very stressful, but it can be reflective, and it can be...
and that's how she's actually used that word right there, reflective.
She's a brilliant person if she used one of my words.
And that, I think, is where the stress that kind of comes out, is reflective. Oh, I miss those times, but I look forward to the great times coming. And so she has some really cool opportunities. But I also have a freshman who is stressing out right now, going into finals, getting that first year under the belt. How did they do? That kind of a thing.
But pets have a way of kind of rejuvenating and calming, and just kind of, even if it's just for 5 minutes, just to kind of relax you a little bit.
Well, what I equated it to is, Jerry, if you were to go de-stress yourself, what would you do?
Leave my phone in the truck and go for a walk any place, or a hike over at Hickory Hill or someplace.
And so it's getting back to nature in a lot of ways. And that's how I would de-stress as well. And so having that pet on campus, I thought, was just genius for the students because, well, one, it's nature. It's your dogs and bunnies and stuff like that. And they're loving. So you're going to get a little bit of love there. Mm-hmm. But it's also reflective for them back on their pets at home. And so they're like, oh, I can't wait till I get back home and I can hug my dog again and all that kind of stuff. So I think it was a really cool event.
That's awesome. And congratulations from all of us here at 800 KXIC to all of the graduates that are going to be making that transition, of course, from our local high schools. Also, of course, the University of Iowa, Kirkwood. It's just kind of an exciting time when we get into May of seeing everybody kind of embark on their new journeys, and they can do it with great pets. Anything else? What's else coming up? Treats?
So we're going to talk about the stressing side of things as far as dogs and cats. We're going to look at, how to detect it and a little bit of how to handle it, for your dog. How can you alleviate some of that stress? And then we're going to talk about, you can use these items that we're going to talk about here as far as solutions as treats. And so I always love purposeful treats. So we use them at home. On one of our dogs, we have it's a Quiet Moments product. And so she's a very energetic lady, and she's a lot of fun and everything. But sometimes it's like, here, have a treat, kind of thing. And it's one of the calming aids to get her down a notch or two.
And I say treat as kind of the broad, not necessarily eating, but a treat as far as maybe a toy or, something that.
Yeah, you got something right there.
Kind of reward whatever the pet is in a treat sense.
Right. Yeah. And we'll actually cover that. What do we have now on the docket?
It is the amazing pet story of the week. Are you ready for it?
Wait
for it. Here it comes.
It's time for the amazing pet story of the week.
He sounds better and better every week, doesn't he? It is the amazing pet story of the week, and this one is called Belle Calls 911. 911, excuse me. Too many ones in the 911.
I don't think it matters either way.
As long as you get the 9 and the 2 ones in there.
Yeah. Kevin
Weevil has diabetes. That's Kevin right there. You can't see it on air, but it's a nice picture of Kevin. He also has a specially trained beagle named Belle, who can sense when his blood sugar levels off. She licks his nose and then paws at him to signal that he should take a reading. In the summer of 2006, Belle put another skill to work. Weaver suffered a severe seizure and collapsed. Belle grabbed the man's cell phone and bit down on the number 9, just like she had been trained.
Whoa.
And it was pre-programmed to dial 911 when she hit the 9 button. An emergency worker soon arrived. Belle was later given the Vita Wireless Samaritan Award for those who use cell phones to save lives. Belle was the first dog to ever win this award. So the phone was obviously pre-programmed, but she had been trained in order to bite down on the number 9, and that alerted authorities to be able to come and save Kevin Weaver's life. So that is your amazing pet story of the week.
Do you know the diabetes side of things? I believe there is a smell that we exhale when things are not going in the right directions. I think that's called a ketone. But do you know? I don't know anything about a seizure. What happens to our bodies right before a seizure that a dog would be able to detect? Is it a smell, or
it could be a smell? It could be if we're motionless on the ground.
Oh, maybe
some type of twitching. Who knows exactly what the signal is for the dog? But obviously, the dog is trained specifically for that event.
Yeah, and I've heard it before. I hadn't thought of what's the signal that they're looking for. And that is phenomenal.
Just like, similarly, you can train dogs to do a number of things. Obviously, probably the one that we're all familiar with is a drug dog, or, they go in and they sniff for drugs because, as we talked about in recent weeks, dogs use their smell way more than, or what's the word I'm looking for? The way that we use our sight, the way that we use our sound.
The way I explain it, the way we can see colors of your shirt right now, down to there's a pen in your pocket, and dogs can smell. It's not maybe at that level. We really don't know because we haven't talked with the dog lately about that.
Most of us haven't.
Yeah. And for you that have. Their sense of smell goes way beyond what ours is.
But obviously, that is truly amazing, the way that we use pets and those specially trained dogs. So I give a huge props out to Belle and all of the great service
Belle the Beagle.
And all the great service dogs that are out there helping people.
That is awesome.
And you see them everywhere, just walking around, especially people that have sight issues and maybe seizures also. So service dogs are pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll have to get one of the canine officers on here. They love being on air, talking about how they do things. And I just saw last night a canine. It was at the border. And it was a drug sniffing dog at that point. And it is just amazing to see what they're capable of doing and how sensitive that smell is and all that. We had one demonstration in our store where, and the dog has since been retired, but when they came in with the substance, they walked around in the whole entire store, Petland store, to give the scent all over the place, and then put it up like 8 feet up on a racking system behind some product. The dog came in, Nathan came in through the front door, was released. We had a whole group of people in there, customers and everybody just getting to watch and all that. Came in, took a left-hand turn, went right to the product. In this case, it was a upright stance to show that it is above me, kind of a thing. And we're like, how do you do that?
That's not Mike Smith, is it?
Nathan is retired, and no, and so is the officer.
Okay. I used to know a couple of the canine, and what made me think of it is North Liberty is actually tying this all together. North Liberty is actually in a fundraising effort right now to buy a canine dog for their police department. They're about 50,000 on the way to 80,000 to raise initial money to buy the canine for their police department.
We'll have to give them a call because we've talked in the past about doing these kinds of things. Yeah, the different in realize communities share. The university has bomb dogs. Well, the rest of the communities out here really don't need a bomb dog, but the university has they have a special need. But let's say the surrounding counties need that for a special situation. They will come out as a result and do that. And those dogs do training every single week. They're out there training with each other and all that kind of stuff. So they're really talented, very well maintained as far as the dog itself and as well as their training.
I know Johnson County used to, I don't know if they still do, they had a cadaver dog that was able to help divers along the Iowa River that was able, seriously.
I didn't even know about that one.
Yeah, and so it is truly amazing how these pets and these service dogs do help out the community and how service departments use them. So pretty amazing stuff there. So recapping it and bringing it all together. Belle the Beagle, the amazing pet story of the week. It is the PAWSitively Petland show right here Sunday mornings at 9 o'clock. And tell us a little bit about the store. What are your hours and what do you have going on?
We're Petland of Iowa City. Today, Sunday, we're open from noon until 6. All my other days, so Monday through Saturday, we're open from 10 a.m. until 9 p.m. But today, Sunday, we're open from noon until 6. So come on in and play today. Have some fun. Do some de-stressing while you're in there. And heck, you might find the breed that I didn't know about, and we'll educate you on. And you're going to start those engines running in your brain and say, I think I might need one of those.
And what's the breed of the week that we're going to be talking about?
The Miniature Schnauzer. And maybe we still have the Miniature Schnauzer in the store. They go fast. And this is a party color. So it's going to be white and black and gray. It's a really, really pretty puppy. If you go to petlandiowacity.com, and we still have it in our store, you'll see an amazing picture of it with a little tie on. It is extremely cute.
Good times at Petland in Iowa City, across from Lucky's, the Iowa City marketplace over there, east side, formerly Sycamore Mall. You know where they're located. Stop in. It is the PAWSitively Petland show right here on 800 KXIC. Good morning. Is that how they do it on TV? I don't know.
I'm like Peter Brady when it comes to TV. The red light goes on and I black out.
I remember that episode.
So I have no idea. They say go.
You say go and that's it. Segment 2, are you ready?
Yeah.
It is the PAWSitively Petland show right here on Iowa City's news and sports station 800 KXIC. I am Jerry Lawler. We are joined in studio by co-owner of Petland of Iowa City, Ron Solzrud. Good morning.
Good morning.
Ron. And so we're talking about the breed of the week, And you said it's a party coat, referring to
Party color.
Referring to the color,
Multicolors in the coats.
like purple and pink.
Yeah, if you want to dye it that way, yes. No, this one, it just is multicolored and on a miniature schnauzer and some other breeds. When that happens, then they call it a party color.
Party coat.
And
Party color, excuse me.
10 years ago, I would have said a schnauzer comes in gray, salt and pepper, black, and then I think I would have known white every now and then. I wouldn't have known about party colors. We had a chocolate in last year, I believe. Yeah, it would have been last year, and that was just gorgeous. And talking with that breeder that I knew very well, I said, "Where did the chocolate come from?" And they said, "Ron, read the book." And sure enough, yeah, there's all these different colors in there.
And the book would be the AKC, the American Kennel Club book of all breeds that you have sitting in front of you. So why don't you tell us about this little schnauzer?
So we're going to talk about the history of it. Where does the miniature schnauzer originate from?
See, you didn't prep me on this. Can you give me a region on?
Are you kidding me?
No.
Come on, it should be right there. Schnauzer.
Montana? I'm blanking. I honestly don't know.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding.
Okay,
you.
our audience is like going, Germany.
Why?
Schnauzer. It's German.
I didn't know that.
Schnauzer.
Okay, that sounds like you're from the Bronx.
That's my bad. I always have really bad.
Snorted. I apologize.
I've been snorting all this whole time.
I had no idea. Schnauzer?
All right. So, but I'm going to actually take you on a different trip.
I feel like a fool. Thank you for embarrassing me.
That's why it's always stump the jetty. Wait, what accent was that?
Austrian.
All right. So let's get on to it. The miniature schnauzer is one of the only dogs in the terrier group not derived from, okay, do you know? No, you're not going to know this one. From British origins. So this is not. So
thank you for just assuming that I'm not going to know now.
A southern German creation, schnauzers were known as far back as the 15th century, as various artworks indicate. And this is kind of an interesting reflection on artwork. A statue from this period found in Mecklenburg depicts a hunter and a schnauzer-like dog, as does a later statue found in Stuttgart in 1620. I'm going to mess up some German words now. These dogs originally went by several names, including Pincher, rough-haired terrier, also known as the Rattenfänger, also known as rat catcher. Eventually, they became known as the Schnauzers, a named likely derived because of the stubby whiskers on their noses. Schnauzer comes from the German word nose or snout. He's checking.
I'm just looking at the picture of it.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
Yeah, those stiff whiskers.
Oh, yes. Yeah, they have more of a wiry coat. So the development of the miniature schnauzer started in the early 1800s. So that's kind of how far back it goes. And then by 1925, the miniature schnauzer had made its way to America. So, and has now become a real popular pet. So that's the history of the schnauzer. From where?
Germany.
All right. So the form and function miniature schnauzers may be small because there is a standard schnauzer out there. But I think most of us, we don't get to see that standard all that much. When's the last time you saw a standard? They're a large breed dog.
Yeah.
But the miniature is only between 12 to 14 inches high, usually no more than 20 pounds, but they must give a sense of substance and strength. Nothing about them should be toyish or delicate. For their traditional work as vermin catchers and watchdogs, they needed to be sturdy and muscular. As a companion dog today, the miniature schnauzer can be both elegant and rugged, ready for whatever job he's asked to do, whether it's strolling down an urban avenue or climbing a mountain.
I was going to say most of the schnauzers that I have seen kind of do have that brute personality, and they kind of
thicker of a dog.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you're thinking, well, wait, I don't want a dog that was a watchdog or a vermin catcher, realize that was at the beginning. That's a long time ago. They've now, the breeders out there, they actually select their breeding stock in the future based on what's their temperament. If it's a nice temperament, hey, and looks good and all that kind of stuff, now this is a breed that they want to bring forward. So they've intentionally bred it to be now a companion animal instead of a vitamin catcher and all that kind of stuff. And I think that's what, when hunters are looking for the hunting dog, they want that, it's got that instinct more on that level as opposed to the companion animal side.
Ready to dive into the hole or into the weeds. And some breeds are just, made and bred for that.
Right.
Whereas this one seems like it's evolved, as we've talked about in recent weeks, evolved over time to kind of be a little bit more loving and companion.
Yeah. So now living with one, highly adaptable, the miniature Schnauzer can make himself at home anywhere as long as his people are close by. So it does love that human companion side of things. This breed craves human companionship, which combined with its breed's intelligence makes him easy to train for all kinds of activities. He is alert and spunky, but also obedient to commands. So it's talking about fairly easy to train, a smart dog in that way. Miniature Schnauzers also get along well with other dogs, although small rodent pets such as guinea pigs and hamsters and birds may awaken their prey drive. Okay, so a little comment on that. If you have those, other pets in the house and you're concerned, what you're going to do, regardless of whether it's a miniature Schnauzer or, a Shih Tzu that I don't think anybody gets for hunting for anything, you're going to be leery on the front end. And what we have found over the years is if you are holding the bird or the hamster or the guinea pig or the rabbit and allow your dog to come up to you, you have control over this situation. You got to maintain it, and be a parent. If they start growling or something, you're going to pull them away and say no, kind of a thing. But over time, you're going to notice that they're going to adopt it into their pack. We always kind of talk in dogs as pack animals and stuff. And so the miniature Schnauzer or other breeds will then adopt it in. Case in point, this is also true for cats, but we will be a little more leery of those cats because we know what they're thinking. We had a bird in our house for 8 years, and we had a cat that had been there prior to. And so when we brought the bird in, you got to be cautious on that one. So we were very cautious, always parenting and all that kind of stuff, being around the bird if it was out and about, and then making sure Gilbert, our cat, wasn't getting too crazy or anything. And he's kind of a mellow cat anyways. But we had an instance, and it was like 7 years into this, where grandma came over, was taking care of all the pets for us, and we were on a vacation, and grandma forgot to lock the cage. And birds are really smart, and this was one of those. I was able to just open it up, say, yep, here I am, started walking around the house. When we opened the door to our house, walking away from us, which is kind of interesting, was our bird and our cat side by side.
Really?
Just kind of taking a stroll. And
we're
like,
that's not where I thought it was going at all.
No, it did. Yeah. Isn't it crazy?
There's something about birds that are just intriguing to
the cat or the dog.
I just remember my Great Dane. We took her over to my parents' house, who had a parakeet, and the first time that Greta saw that bird, it was like,
I gotta have the bird.
It was just like, what is that thing? It was like a little toy, and you just saw her mesmerized and fixed on the bird. So birds are just they're fascinating,
right? And you
animal.
Just described the first encounter, and that's going to be risky right there. And so we didn't even let Gilbert, our cat, get close to our bird for, I don't even remember, but months. And then when we did, we were right in there with it, kind of a thing. And Plimpton, our bird, didn't even hesitate. That bird got within a foot. It lunged at the cat, which freaked the cat out.
The bird lunged at the cat?
At the cat, pinched its nose. And that cat then said, I am not messing with you.
Wow. So you shocked me twice within the past 5 minutes.
so that's how you would socialize your dog. You're maybe that puppy coming in, and it's even easier with a puppy. with your other pets and stuff like that, is just socialize them over time. And I will admit, we never trusted Gilbert alone with our bird. We never, intentionally walked out of the house with them commingling or anything like that. Because, Gilbert might have gotten hungry and said,
yeah, things are going to happen,
right,
even with the best of intentions or and whatnot. So
and then finally, so on the miniature Schnauzer, they do not shed, but their coats, consisting of a wiry top coat and a soft undercoat, require some maintenance as far as combing and all that kind of stuff. Schnauzers, you're gonna bring to the groomer, especially to get that Schnauzer cut. It's a really tight cut on the top, a little longer on the legs and on the snoot area, and so that's what the groomers all are trained to do, and they do an awesome job. I always love a good Schnauzer cut.
A perfect breed for the Furminator.
This would be, so the Furminator would be on this one because it's in the non-shedding category.
Oh, never mind,
Jerry. I
whatever I just said.
No, you tossed me a softball and I'm grabbing it. I'm running. I'm running back right now.
I planned it that way. So this is not a good breed for the
Furminator. Where I would have a Furminator handy. I love the Furminator for those situations where something's dried on the coat and you can't get it off. Like you'd have to give them a bath at this point to get it loosened up and out of the coat. A Furminator is excellent on getting a little mud splash or other debris around the back end of the dog, maybe that got caught up in the fur. You can use the Furminator and it's like magic. It just, you comb it through and it's out and gone.
I just want to make it perfectly clear that it has been 24 minutes since you made your first reference to poop.
To poop. See, I was sneaking it in there. So yeah, if you have a little Klingon, if the dog has a little Klingon, use the Furminator. If it's dry, it comes right out. If it's wet, yeah, use a washcloth or something and get that out. So that was a vignette on the Furminator that we just took. But the miniature Schnauzer, is that the right breed for you? It's a nicer, smaller breed. It is a non-shedding breed. It is a smart breed. You don't have to get the Schnauzer cut if you don't, and you can let it just be a fluffy little dog and have fun. And we have a party-colored white and black in our store right now that you can check out, have some fun with. Go to petlandiowacity.com, and you're going to see under breeds available, look under Schnauzer, or you can just toggle through them all. You're going to see the cutest little picture with the Schnauzer and a tie on. And it is really
a bow tie.
It's a longer tie, but it is meant for a dog, so it's just cute.
And you can head over there. Noon today is when you open up, correct?
Noon on Sundays.
And so that is the miniature Schnauzer, a very fun breed from Germany.
I
don't know why.
The only terrier not to come from
England.
Yeah,
British,
right? Yeah.
I don't know why you thought that I would know that. Is it really that? Is it really?
I thought Schnauzer was an obvious German word.
I guess maybe I'm oblivious to the obvious.
Do you have German in your? What's your background?
Irish.
Oh,
Irish.
So you got a thing against Germans?
I do not have a thing. I do not.
I sense a little something here.
I think that you might be inferring that a lot of our listeners would automatically go to Germany, but I think that there were a lot of listeners that say, yeah, Jerry, I'm with you. I had no idea that breed was from. I'm just siding with.
You can call in during the week, Jerry, and console him on that one.
I guess I don't know. I gotta brush up on my breeds. How about that?
Oh yeah, no, this is too much fun. We like it. Hey, let's get into stress.
Let's do it,
because we're stressing you out right now.
No stress in my world.
So a lot of us talk about dogs with anxiety issues and stress issues and all that, and it's helpful to understand what are those things that you're seeing. Is it really stress? Because here we had our de-stressing event yesterday, and there were some people that came by and noticed something about the dog, and they said, "Oh, the dog is stressed out." And I said, "So what would you like me to do?" Kind of a thing, because they obviously then were going to have an idea. And
did you say it sarcastically, like you just, what do you want me to do about it?
No, I didn't mean it that way. No, when people say that, sometimes they misinterpret what the dog is doing.
Sure.
So in this case, the dog was a little richy, kind of like it was kind of getting around, and then it was a little shaky as well. And so it was doing what I call the shake and bake, kind of a thing. And they said, "Oh, he looks stressed out." And I go, "Oh, do you think it needs a rest or anything? What is it that you feel right now?" And I was open to what they were to say.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, "Well, we think it needs rest." And I go, "Okay, let's give it a rest." And we had a rest area for the dogs where they can just hang out, not have any human contact, as far as, let them just have their own space. And so I go, "Here, let's go." We put them into their, the little space there. That dog did not want its own space. It looked at us and it was like, "Wait, I don't want to be over here. I want to be with you," kind of a thing. And so the customer in that case quickly went, "Oh, I guess that's not, what it was."
Sure.
And I think we all struggle with that. I struggle with it. What is it that the dog wants? They don't speak English. The communication thing is there. So here are some ways to help you through the process. And it's, heck, we have the same problem with our own children. Are you stressed out? No, I'm not. No, I'm not stressed out. Well, then what are you? I'm nothing. The communication is always, a struggle there. And it is the same thing with dogs. So one way to know, is your dog really stressed out? And we're going to go through a couple of things is, okay, you're going to laugh at me.
I always laugh at you.
Look at the poop. Okay. So is it getting runny, or is there some constipation issues right now? And so if that's the case, this could, I'm going to also preface all this stuff. If you've got something going on with your dog for more than 24 hours, go to the veterinarian. Veterinarian are experts at this. They can take some tests. They can rule out things real quickly and then coach you in the right direction as far as, how to help your dog and all that. So if you have a longer term kind of a thing, then have the veterinarian. They're wonderful people. Have them check them out. Experts. They didn't go through all that education to not be used by you. So go check that out. If you have more of a short-term diarrhea, constipation type thing, kind of look around and go, well, what's changed?
You hit the nail on the head. Is whenever I address those issues or with my dogs, what changed? What happened? What did they get into? I want to find out. Something obviously is going on more than, there's a reason that they have loose stools or backed up or whatever the case may be. Something changed.
We just had Callie, who, golly, she's like Miss Regular in every way, shape, and form. She's just so predictable. She's a dachshund. She's 13, 14 years old.
She's not your trouble dog.
She is not the trouble child at all. She is so predictable. Well, we went on a vacation and we don't kennel her all that much. Usually there's a friend that wants to take them. This time we didn't have a friend. So we went to a kennel, really nice kennel. Everything was good. No problems whatsoever with that kennel. And we joked the whole time that the dogs were on vacation because they're getting dog time. They're eating probably more than they'll ever eat at our house in a day, kind of thing. So there's a lot of good things that they were like, "Oh yeah, I want to go away next time." But when we got Callie back, she didn't poop. She was not eating. There was some things that we detected, and we'll go through. Not eating is something that, hey, is there stress in my dog? That's a symptom right there. Not eating, lack of appetite. So she had two of them, constipation issues and lack of appetite. We went for a couple of days. We tried in the diarrhea or constipation type things. Well, we tried pumpkin. Pumpkin is the great neutralizer. It takes loose stools and makes them firm. It takes hard stools and makes them soft, so that I got poop issues, feed some pumpkin, see if that solves a problem. This is, again, short term. If this is long term, you got to go to a veterinarian, and Callie actually did need to go to the veterinarian. So she had that. She also had lack of appetite symptom. And so we tried different foods. We tried different soft foods. The whole time we were going, what is it in our house that changed? And we didn't identify anything. We did say that kennel is the only thing, because this happened within 24 hours of bringing her back. At the kennel, she was fine. She was eating. Everything was good and all that kind of stuff. Maybe she was jonesing to get back to the kennel, and so We then did go to a veterinarian. They had and let the veterinarians diagnose this stuff. They went through one round of treatments to say, okay, let's go for the simple but obvious things. That didn't work. They actually called us and followed up with us, which was really cool, and said, hey, are you seeing any movement yet? And there was no movement. So they said, come on back in. We're going to do the next group of treatments. And then Callie started really quickly going in the right direction. And they said, this is just anxiety kind of issues. You needed a little help. The clue that got us going to a veterinarian was the not eating. She had not eaten for 3 days. And I know, we can go for 7 days or something like that. And I go, you know what? I've never seen Callie not eat for 3 days, even when she felt sick. So let's, bring them into the equation here. And they brought her right back on course. No emergency visits or anything. It was all pretty easy stuff. She was drinking the whole time, though. That was the nice thing, and urinating. So we knew stuff was getting through the system.
Things were working, but the anxiety or being stressed out obviously was negatively affecting her.
Yeah, we thought on that one, and it gets into a little lower in the thing. If your dog is wounded or is internally hurting, that's another thing that they're going to show you signs of stress. And we thought in Callie's case that she might have eaten something that obstructed her intestine. So again, you got to bring a veterinarian in to diagnose that. And we, in fact, eliminated that on our first visit, eliminated that as the reason, because there was no obstructions through an x-ray.
Can I tell you my fun Greta story of the sickest that she probably ever was?
Yes, please share.
It was 2008, I believe, 2008, and we came home from Christmas morning. Did I tell you the story already?
I don't know. It's not recognizable yet.
The pistachios?
No.
My mom had gotten us one of those baskets where you have the pistachios, and then you put the shells over, and so it was like a 2-pound bag of pistachios, and you have the two little baskets. You put the nuts in one side, and then the shells in the other.
Yeah.
Well, we had come home from Christmas morning mass from, obviously Christmas morning. We had Christmas Eve when we opened up all of our presents, and my mom had given us a 2-pound bag of pistachios. Well, you get home at night, you just kind of throw everything onto the floor, and then you go to Christmas mass the next morning, right? Well, we came home after mass, and we're unpacking the presents and kind of going through things. And all of a sudden, after about an hour or so, we were like, where did the pistachios go? And it wasn't in a bag. It was in one of these baskets.
All gone.
Nuts, shells, everything. I mean, there wasn't a trace of these things. And all of a sudden, our Dane is probably at this point 4.5 years old, something like that. And we're looking at her, and she is looking a little logy. She's looking just kind of...
She's sweating at the brow right now.
She's just kind of sitting there going, she's not herself. And you just kind of see what's going on. And with bigger breeds, we're worried about bloat, where the stomach can flip over. And once that happens, it's a tragic end. And so all of a sudden, we're looking at her, and we're going, did she honestly eat 2 pounds of pistachios? And so we called up the veterinarian, and he said, okay, I want you to start giving hydrogen peroxide every 5-10 minutes until it was amazing to see this, she was able to get everything out. We had to induce vomiting, but when dogs are kind of letting you know what's going on, we could tell very quickly that something bad was going to happen, and we had to react.
So you saw a stress in the dog.
She was not herself when we came home from Christmas.
So
mass.
tell us more about that. What did you
normally
not in the same room, in a corner? Are you saying that, or
you could just tell behavior? She didn't get up to welcome us at the door like she normally would at that point. So she was kind of a puppy at 4.5 years old. But when you notice that she's not moving as briskly as she would, I do remember that she was kind of confined back to where her room was. And again, this was a period of about an hour and a half or 2 hours after. So it was probably around noon. But you do just notice those things on your pets when they're like, something's not right. And then we put the correlation very quickly in, and that's when panic literally set in with Kayla and me, and we said we have to do something.
Do you know why vomiting was encouraged in that situation?
Because of the bloat.
Okay, that all right.
That was their biggest concern.
Pistachios in a large quantity. Is there any toxin? Like
no, there was nothing about that. It was more of the fact that they said, obviously keep her calm, but even if she moves or if she stands up in the wrong way, the biggest concern, especially with those larger breeds, from my knowledge, is if that think about that, 1.5 pounds or 2 pounds of weighted pistachios or nuts or food or whatever is inside her stomach. If that stomach were to flip, it basically, I mean, I've had friends who have lost Danes especially, or those larger breeds with that stomach flipping. And so that was the biggest concern. And that's why they said, get it out. And I think we ended up going through, I ran to the store because we didn't have any peroxide, but I think we ended up giving her almost the entire bottle.
Yeah. So we had a similar situation, but they didn't encourage any vomiting, as she had eaten birdseed. We had the bird. Sure. And Gilbert kicked the bird bag of food down onto the ground. Callie went food and ate probably about 2 pounds of it, and was noticeably large. And we called the veterinarian, and I think one of the critical questions that was asked is she breathing?
Wow. And
we said, yeah, but it was a very shallow pant, and that's what we're concerned about. She's breathing. That's good. Just let it go.
Really?
Yeah. And because it wasn't toxic, let it go through. And Callie just sat in the corner and panted for, half the day. And then all of a sudden she was ready to go.
Yeah. I think that it was also the combination that the shells of the pistachios.
That's what I was thinking, is maybe that was something.
So from what memory serves, I mean, this was a dozen years ago, so it's kind of hard to piece it all together, or 10 years ago. And so I think it was the combination of the shells, the sharp passing that through could have caused more damage. So they just said, let's get her to get it out of it, get it out of her as quick as possible.
So, and this is, I would only let a veterinarian tell me to do that. I would not just go do it because we don't know and all that kind of stuff. Just like we would a child, what should we do? Call the doctor, kind of a thing.
And we were talking last week about purposeful treats. You just don't give your dog ibuprofen or an aspirin or people things if these are measured quantities in the treats that we talk about on the show.
And so, rounding out this discussion here, so we talked about poop issues, appetite issues. We talked isolation, where the dog was isolating themselves, increased in sleeping, which is what do we do when we get the flu and all that kind of stuff? We sleep a lot more. And then also aggression. We've seen that in dogs in the past when they're wounded or something. Don't touch me, kind of a thing. Aggression comes out. So if we can identify what it is, and we're capable of working with our dog, or at least in a short term trying to soothe it, that is where we can get into what we were saying, purposeful treats. On the discomfort side, Callie she's old enough where she's got arthritis and some back issues and all that. And we use senior type products with her. In fact, I just ran out this morning and have to buy more. And it is I'm sure there's a pain reliever in there, probably some joint type supplements in there. It's a very multi-type product that we give to Callie from Nature Vet. And she does really, really well on there. They've got aches and discomfort is one of their products. I talked about the calming aid. They have another one that's anti-lick, where if you spray this product onto the dog in like a wound, it doesn't have alcohol in it, so it's not going to hurt the dog in that way, but it does have a bittering agent in it so that they don't want to lick the area because it just tastes bad. And then they have hot spot type products.
Unless you have that rare dog that actually likes the bitter taste.
This, I will say, Nature Vet has the strongest and most unique bittering agent.
I thought you were going to bring in a bittering agent for me to try.
Oh,
next week.
Yeah, I got to put that on the calendar or something, because that is a challenge. See which one you can tolerate.
I can't believe I reminded you of that.
Ron, I like this one. Well, then try this one. We're gonna go until he's vomiting in here.
Let's not do that.
All right. But there is pain relievers. They have a aspirin type formula. What I like about getting one designed for your pet is it has how much to give them on the package. Instead of guessing and all that kind of stuff, I never have even done that at my house, and I would not give an aspirin to my dog or cat or any other animal unless the veterinarian had told me if I was doing the people version. But it's nice when you have the dog version because it tells you if your dog weighs X amount, it's safe to give this amount of this product, kind of a thing. So that's what I like about Nature Vet, is that it's got the recommended dosage right onto it. So we talked about helping them through wound type issues, elderly type issues with discomfort. We also talked about calming aids, things to bring them down a level if they're anxious about something. A lot of really neat products. So if you're struggling with your dog with one of these, my dog's stressed out and I'm trying to figure out what to do. Well, if it's just stressed out, I want to play, and you're walking out that front door, in the future, you might want to consider playing with the dog and really wearing them out and then walking out the door. You might even then supplement with calming aids. So play with the dog. Here's some treats. And this is what we're doing with Susie is here's some treats, the calming aids. It's tryptophan, some really simple stuff that's in there to help her just kind of get down another level, walk around the house and go, I love life, kind of thing. I think I'm going to take one of my 10 naps today right now. And then she's calm about the whole thing. Some chew toys, like what you had also even pointed out, let that stress out through a really nice, safe chew toy that you can leave with them and not worry about gulping or, swallowing a whole and all that kind of stuff. So it's something nice and big, something that they like. Another thing that people have tried, and there's actually toys out there, but you can do it at home, is they are comforted when they smell you. So take a shirt that you don't care about, that you've got your scent on it, you wore it, don't wash it, and then give it to them. And then they go, oh, that's my owner. I love that. That just calms me down. So that's another thing that you can do with your pets as far as giving them something to smell that's comforting to them. And you are one of those comforters. Another thing is a warming disc. They're a little bit expensive. I think they're like $20. They're very durable, heavy plastic, but inside it has that product that you can put in the microwave and get it warmed up. They can't get at it. This thing is so strong. I wrap it up in a blanket and it will be warm for the next 8 to 12 hours.
Really?
And so we put that in there with them and they just get right on top of it and go, oh yeah. And I think what it does is it helps them be like with mom. When I snuggle up with mom, it makes me feel good. And so it's nice, something warm. We actually have products in our store, snuggle puppies that have that warmer in it. And then they also have a heartbeat in it. And it's really unique. You would think it would just be this thud, thud, thud. They have done some real work on it. When you hold it, it feels cool. I mean, it just feels good.
That was such a visual look of Ron saying,
well, when we were
so
cool. I just I'm like, I want to take it apart and understand how they made that do that. It just is a really interesting feeling, very comforting, like a heartbeat. They really did a nice job of it. So
it works on humans also.
Yes, it apparently does. So that is the distressing and all that. Do we have any more room in our segment here, or are we at the top?
You got all the time that you want. I want to see how long you can actually go. We got a few minutes left.
So, what do you want to talk about?
Why don't you tell us your hours? What Petland?
Okay, so we're that far. All right. See, Jerry's getting me back.
I wanted to see how long you could possibly go. I wasn't going to say wrap it up or anything like that. I was just going to say, hey, when he's ready to talk about
2 hours later,
Petland.
So we know that Ron actually does have an end point. That's a good thing. My wife has been wondering that for many, many years.
I used to have a friend that used to tell me, find the period.
Yes.
There's just a bunch of semicolons and commas in my sentences sometimes.
We're Petland of Iowa City over at the Sycamore Mall, now known as Marketplace Mall. We're right across the parking lot from Marketplace, or Lucky's Market. Gosh, that went out my brain. right across the parking lot from them. Come on and play. Are you interested in getting a dog? Or maybe is only one person in your family interested in getting a dog? Come on in and we'll work with you, because we'll go through some education. Do you have training questions? I don't want my dog peeing in the house. Okay, we get it. We'll go through the training, make an educated decision then. Oh, I didn't realize you can train them. Oh, is that what a kennel is for?
And your staff is knowledgeable. They are counselors. You train them. You encourage them to read about the breeds that you have in the store. So your staff truly is quality.
And thank you for that. And we're every day they're being educated, so that we're always.
You don't allow them to stand around. You're saying, here, read this book, read about this product, do some research. And so they're definitely hopping when you're around.
Yes.
When you're not, I can say that they are a little. I'm kidding.
Oh, they're a great staff. So come on in, and let's say the dog ends up being, the whole family does understand that this is maybe not the right pet. Well, we'll work with you. Is it the rabbit? Is it the guinea pig? Is it the hamster? Is it the fish? Is it a reptile? We'll find that pet that will get you on your way to help you. If it's you as a parent helping your child, maybe a beta fish. Maybe you have a 3-year-old and that you can just, he can or she can sprinkle in the food and all that and show them what life is like, and that you have to take care of a life, and you got to feed the life, and we got to change the water, but on a simple level, so that you've got time for that.
As they say, the furried, the feathered, and the scaled friends all at Petland.
Petland of Iowa City.
Thank you, Ron. Great talk there. And give us the breed that you have at the store one more time.
Miniature Schnauzer is what we talked about today. The party-colored Schnauzer, wonderful breed. Where do they originate from?
Germany.
There we go. Not Britain.
Not Britain. So it is the Positively Petland show every Sunday morning at 9 o'clock. Thank you, Ron. Stop in noon today until when?
Until 6 p.m.
I threw you another softball there. Noon to 6 today. $5 nail trims
on all of our dog food and cat food is on a buy 10, get one free. You don't have to track it. We track it for you.
Stop in today to Petland, Eastside, Iowa City. We'll see you back here next weekend.
Thank you. Have a great week.